Hey guys, today I want to talk about the curriculum or educational plan that I am creating for myself for this next school year. Hi guys, my name is Chantel and I run the site Intentional Homeschooling, and we are entering our 6th year homeschooling, I guess. Man, time has flown, and we have a very relaxed, unschooling, following our own interests kind of homeschool method, routine, rhythm, I guess. I had made curriculum plans for my 6th grader and my 3rd grader, and I shared our preschool plans. And while I was working on that, I was kind of thinking, hey, I want to make one for myself. And then while I'm like working on this, I'm realizing that I might go and do quite a bit of changing and reworking to our 6th and 3rd grade homeschool plans. If you follow my personal channel at all, you'll probably know that our 2 little foster kids who are just turned 1 and almost 3 are most likely leaving us in the next few weeks here, so that will change a lot of what we might be doing. I mentioned this in, I think, my previous video, but kind of we need to wait and see, like, for sure what is happening here. So while I was going through what I wanted to do with my kids, I was also thinking about, what do I want to learn this year? You know, a year from now, what is it that I hope I will have, like, spent my time learning? What is something that I don't know much of now that I would like to increase my knowledge in? And so I have been kind of keeping a list, and I thought I would share it here because I share my seasonal morning basket, which is just a random assortment. It's not actually that random. It's kind of a well thought out intentional assortment of things that I like to do in that season. Mostly it's a bunch of books because I like books, and so I haven't shared my fall mother culture basket yet. That will be coming up probably in about a month, and some of these resources will be in there. When I make my morning baskets in the next few seasons, I'm going to kind of be referring back to the things that I want to learn this year, and then kind of filling up my basket intentionally, because that way with those different resources. Okay, so I like the app To Do, spelt like very French. I got a 1-year subscription recently because I've been using this app a lot. And so I made a list on here of goals for myself for 2021/2022, the school year. I like to set goals at the beginning of the new year, and then my birthday is in May, and I set goals for my birthday to complete before my next birthday. And then this is like the first year since leaving high school that I'm setting like school goals for myself, but I'm really excited about it because I enjoy setting goals. So some of these things are going to be bookish things, some of them are going to be like personal things that I want to learn, some of them are going to be things that I feel like I should have learned in school, and then there's going to be a whole bunch of other learning that will happen as I go through learning different things with my kids. I love that about homeschooling, is like I am getting a better education. I've got a better education in these last 6 years than I ever did in school. I'm enjoying this so much more than I ever did my schooling journey myself. Okay, so I don't have these items really in any particular order. I just started writing them out. So my first goal for my school year is to increase my video editing skills. I want to use a different program to edit my videos because I want to have a little bit more control. So I need to decide which software I want to use for that. I haven't quite figured it out. I'm definitely at the point where I've like tried different programs in the past and get overwhelmed really easily. Feel a little bit like a grandma that way. It's like, no more new technology. But I really would like to, this next year, up my video editing skills. I would like to include more like scenic shots, B-roll, and just yeah, learn a different program. So I haven't specifically laid out like if I'm going to, you know, watch YouTube videos to learn this program, or if I'm going to enroll in a course or what. I don't really care how I do it. I just would like a year from now to be using a different program and having my videos just kind of like prettier, maybe just more relaxing and informative and interesting, all at the same time. I'm not sure if that all makes sense, but it makes sense in my head. Okay, and my goal number 2 is to enroll in an online membership. Now, this is actually one of my birthday goals that I set a couple months ago. I have a couple different ideas on this. So I was possibly thinking of enrolling in Sally Clarkson's monthly membership. Whenever she talks about it on her podcast, I always think it sounds really good. But I've just known in this last season with fostering and with littles, I haven't had the time to, really apply myself to any of these kind of mentorships or different classes online. So hers is one option. Another one that I would actually really like to do, but is not open right now, is Angela Braniff. She also has the channel This Gathered Nest. She has an online, I don't even know what it's called, like a membership thing with Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone and someone else. I think The Minimal Mom or something. I don't actually watch her channel, but I think they started it last year and they only open it every now and then. And so I would really like to get in on that. If they opened that again, that would probably be my top one, because it's supposed to be a lot of like homeschool encouragement and I don't know, different things. So that sounds interesting. And then there are 2 YouTubers that I follow that have Patreons where they share a lot of like how they edit their videos and different things like that, and I might do one of those as well, or I don't know, it might be between those 4, or I might do some of them for a little bit. I don't really know. But I would like to join some kind of online membership to either for either encouragement or like knowledge and growth of some sort. So it's kind of leaving that one broad. A little bit more of a specific goal that I have is to like learn about the Canadian Indigenous people and their history here in Canada. All the children that we have fostered so far have been Indigenous, and I know I took classes in school, in university, and it just kind of like went in one ear and out the other. I didn't retain any of the information. I feel like I've learned more about even where the tribes are located around me than I ever did in school. Like I know more of that now because of children that we fostered. There really is just something to learning things when you're ready to take them in and interested in it, which is how I like to homeschool. And so I would like to learn, definitely the history. Also, I would like to be able to have a visual map in my head and be able to pinpoint like where the different tribes like originated from, or kind of the groupings where they are now. I think that would be very interesting, especially in Saskatchewan, but definitely all over Canada would be cool as well. So I have a number of different books that I have requested from the library for this. I want to read like history books or memoirs by Indigenous people, but I also wanted to read just general books by Indigenous people. One of the ones a friend recommended to me, I can't remember the full title, but it was like 21 Things You Didn't Know About the Indian Act or something. I'll leave a list of the things I mentioned below because I'm not going to get all the titles right. And then another friend recommended 7 Fallen Feathers, and that one is about 7 kids who disappeared from Ontario, from like I think the same small town, within like a 10-year span. And then I just got out a book from the library. I haven't read it yet. I have a bunch of library stacks in front of me, but I actually think it's in my room. It's not even here. I can't remember the title, but I believe it's based off of a letter. If I'm correct that this letter is actually true, a 14-year-old girl sent a letter to the Winnipeg police. What would you do if I went missing? And she was an Indigenous girl. And so I think this book kind of plays out the different possibilities or something like that. It's a graphic novel, I believe. I have it out from the library, but I haven't actually looked at it yet. And then I got a few more that I've requested. And so at some point throughout this year, maybe at the end of the year, I would like to share a video sharing maybe some of the better ones that I read. I don't know if I would do that here or maybe on my booktube channel, but I would like to do that. So that is another aspect of my year. Something I'm going to be doing kind of alongside my daughter is I'm going to be keeping a book of centuries this year. So I think most homeschoolers know what a book of centuries is, but it's just a book where you pretty much have a 100-year span on a paper on 2 sheets, and you just like write down different things that happened in that time span. So I just plan on having this around, and every time I learn something in history, opening it up to that page and writing a note or printing out a picture or something. I will not be drawing. I have no artistic ability whatsoever. It would be like the worst stick people known to man. So there will be no actual drawing in mine, but there will be information written down. And then I have no goals as to like how much I want to do in there. I just want to go throughout the year and see how much I can fill it up and then just continue that on. I also have a list of Christian nonfiction books that I would like to read this year. A bunch of ladies from church were talking about their favorite ones a couple Sundays ago, and so I started writing them down. And then I also got a few books written that other people have talked about. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books here. Gospel Fluency by Jeff Vanderstelt. I'm actually listening to this one right now. I'm not very far, but it's been really good. Prodigal God, I'm also reading that one right now, and it is really good. There's also Gentle and Lowly. My husband read that one, and I've heard a lot of things about that book recently. Gay Girl, Good God. I've been meaning to read this one forever. That one's by Jackie Hill Perry. I've heard really good things about that one. Mere Christianity. This was on my mother culture basket from the summer that I wanted to read it, and I read maybe a chapter, and I haven't done much else, so I definitely want to finish that this year. The Imperfect Disciple by Jared C. Wilson. I started this one last year. It was so good, and then things changed in our life, and I forgot to finish it. So I'm going to start it over again and read that one. The Freedom of Self-Forgetfulness. I have a friend that's constantly mentioning this one, and the other one is called The Gospel, which is a hard title to Google because it's just called The Gospel, and I can't remember who it's by, but I will definitely include that here so that you can find it easier than just Googling The Gospel. And I'll have all those books listed below as well. So I want to read through all of those books in addition to like the 100 other books I'll be reading in the next year, because that's how I roll. Okay, next goal is to do some Daily Grace Co. studies and memory stuff. So on my personal channel, I just posted a Daily Grace Co. haul yesterday. So specifically, I'm thinking I'm going to be working through this Dwell Expanded Scripture Memory. It's Growing in Grace is the title. And you read through, or you memorize, Romans chapter 12, 1 Peter chapter 1, and Philippians 1. So I don't know how much I will get through this. It kind of just goes day by day. You memorize one verse a day. So we will see once I get started in this, how quickly or not quickly I actually go through it, but I'm going to be working on this throughout the year until it's done. And then I did get another one of these as well that I shared in the haul. But I decided that the Growing in Grace was the one that was seemed the one I should be using first, I guess. And then I got 4 of their studies actually. I picked out 3 that I want to do this year. I think the first one I'm going to be doing is Amen, the story of Scripture from Eden to eternity. This is going to be my first one. And then I'm going to do Preaching the Gospel to Yourself, how the gospel transforms everyday life. That one's definitely going to be number 2. And I think both of these were 5-week studies, if I remember correctly. I shared a peek inside them on my personal channel. This one doesn't have a table of contents, but I'm pretty sure they were both 5-week studies. And then this one is Even If, a study of Habakkuk is how I always pronounced it growing up. That's how we pronounced it. But since like in the last 5 years, everyone else is pronouncing it Habakkuk or something. I don't know how to pronounce these words. So this is the whole book, and I think it's only 3 weeks that this study is. Yeah, 3 weeks. So should be able to get through those 3 fairly easily, especially if I can't even wrap my head around not having the 2/almost 3-year-old and the 1-year-old, because they take up so much of my morning. I could like fly through these things so fast without littles around. That just blows my mind. And then I guess the last thing, I didn't actually put this on my list, but I'm going to be taking a class through my church called Grace 101, and I was going to pull up what we were all learning. Okay, so I'm really excited for this course. It's an 8-month course, so we're meeting once a month. So it's supposed to lay down a foundation for a gospel-centered life, train participants in what it means to be a disciple of Jesus, equip participants in making, maturing, and multiplying disciples of Jesus. And then this 8 sessions are the church, God's vision, purpose, and values, what is the gospel, the good news story part 1, that includes how to read the Bible, God and creation, I don't know if you can hear the banging of the kids playing upstairs. The Good News Story Part 2, which is Rebellion, Promise, Redemption. Good News Story Part 3, Mission, New Creation, and Conclusion. And then month number 6, we're doing The Life of a Disciple Part 1. The focus is on loving Jesus from the heart. The Life of a Disciple Part 2, where the focus is on loving people from the heart. And number 8 is The Life of a Disciple Part 3, which is focus on helping people to know and love Jesus. So I'm really excited about that class. And that will wrap up what I'm setting forward as my goals for the school year for myself, my mother curriculum for 2021/2022. I would challenge you guys to set some goals for yourself this school year. I kind of think I want to learn something else. So I'm doing like the Canadian Indigenous thing. I also think there's something else that I would like to add in as well, like some kind of timeline from history, some kind of event, but I don't have any like major ideas right now, so if something comes to me, I'll just add that in. But this is what I'm choosing to start my year with, and if you guys decide to do the same, like it doesn't have to be as many different things as I'm doing, but I would love to hear like what are some events or topics or things, that books even, that you want to be reading this next year. Oh, actually that reminds me, I had three homeschool-ish books on my list as well. Oh no, I had one homeschool book on my list I wanted to read as well. It's a reread. I wanted to reread Adventuring Together by Greta Eskridge. I listened to that one a year ago, shortly after it came out, I think, and really enjoyed it, and now I want to read it in physical form. Okay, so now that is all for my school year. Thanks so much for watching, guys.